Is it Camp Miasma or Miasma? Because I swear the two main characters both pronounce it differently. Either way, Jane Schoenbrun's films tend to explore how the media we consume also consumes us and shapes our identity and sexuality, and this film is no exception. However, it marks an exciting new direction for the filmmaker. Despite all the blood, the film isn't nearly as dark or heavy as their previous works. It's funnier and lighter, so keep that in mind if you were hoping for another I Saw the TV glow. The film follows Chris, a young queer filmmaker tasked with rebooting the fictional Camp Miasma slasher franchise, which leads her to the reclusive actress Billy Preston, who starred in the original Camp Miasma film and now lives at the abandoned camp where it was shot. What unfolds is a surreal, psychosexual meta-slasher that both deconstructs and celebrates the genre. Like Schoenbrun's previous films, it explores gender and identity, but here the focus is more on sexuality and pleasure. It examines the dissociation, insecurity, and discomfort that can make it difficult to feel fully present in your own body, especially during intimacy. This movie thrives at the intersection of sex and horror. It pokes fun at 80s slashers while paying homage to them, and it satirizes the state of modern horror, from the incessant stream of sequels to the remaking of previously problematic films under a woke lens. And sex has always been a huge part of the slasher genre, so it makes sense to use it as a vehicle for exploring sexual trauma and sexual awakenings, and how the two can sometimes emerge from the same place. Just like how there's a certain slasher from the 80s. I won't say which because it's technically a spoiler, but if you don't care about spoilers for an 80s movie, I delve deeper into this topic in my written review on my website. But there's a slasher that a lot of people deem transphobic, while others say it was actually kind of progressive for the 80s, and some people even refer to it as their trans awakening. And I think Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma explores how those different readings of a film can coexist. But a slasher is only as strong as its villain, and luckily a great deal of thought and care went into crafting Camp Miasmas. The villain's name is Little Death, after the French euphemism for orgasm. Little Death has an intriguing backstory that makes for a more layered character, and a distinctive, highly memorable costume design consisting of an air conditioning unit for a head and a plastic bodysuit. On top of all that, Jack Haven delivers a captivating performance as the soon-to-be iconic character. Hannah Einbinder is magnetic as Chris. Gillian Anderson is enchanting as the eccentric and enigmatic Billy, going full Norma Desmond from Sunset Boulevard. Both actresses bring emotional depth to their roles while also delivering plenty of laughs and sharing steamy chemistry that creates a buildup of sexual tension that simmers beneath even their most subtle interactions. The visuals amplify that intensity, including the most sexually charged depiction of two people sharing KFC ever put to screen, which is hilarious and erotic in equal measure. The production design and cinematography make the film feel like a fever dream. The film within a film, Camp Miasma, has the grainy aesthetic of an authentic 80s slasher, while the scenes set in the present have an isolated, cozy atmosphere, like sitting by a fire on a snowy winter evening or curling up with a bucket of popcorn, candy, and your favorite comfort movie. The cinematography and editing enhance that hazy, dreamlike quality through slow motion and cross dissolves. Alex G's score beautifully complements the tone, heightening suspense in the slasher sequences while adding a romantic, almost whimsical quality to its more playful and seductive moments. The soundtrack also features a range of nostalgic needle drops, including one of the most creative uses of Counting Crows in recent cinema. Overall, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma is a sapphic slasher that's surreal, campy, and blurs the boundaries between art and reality. It reinvigorates the genre while turning filmmaking itself into a tool for dissecting desire, all while remaining a bloody good time. I think you might like Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma if you enjoyed Sleepaway Camp, Friday the 13th Part 2, Jason Lives, Sunset Boulevard, Bound, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, High Art, The Cabin in the Woods, Scream, I Saw the TV Glow, Carol, Videodrome, The Duke of Burgundy, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and Psycho. And check out Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma in theaters on August 7th.